Hey, Inspired Tribe, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Live Inspired live stream here on the Inspired channel. Is Wednesday, November 11th, 2020. We're excited that you're here. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, and we're free. Please let us know in the comments if the video is lagging. It looks like it is on our side, but we can't tell exactly. So we're excited that you're here with us. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. Remember that. Hey, Elenia, hey, Illy. And it's a big transformational day, 11/11, the big portal that opened. If you can feel it, then you might feel strong energies today. You might feel kind of a roller coaster ride, big potential today. And we have a polarizing topic. And the topic today is winners win and losers lose. And we want to explore why. Because most people, and we're going to talk about the concept of winning, of course, what it means. But there's a reason why winners win and losers lose. It's a lifelong observation, and it's actually really easy and clear to understand. So that's what we're going to dive into today. Please hit the like button. Please share this live stream with your friends. Please post it. Please invite your people. We have seen such a big shift within the Inspired Tribe throughout these months. We have seen so many of you expand so beautifully, and we just want to keep on giving the gift to as many people as possible. So please do that. Please subscribe to our newsletter. We put a link in the description. You'll get the Inspired Freedom Launcher, and it's a beautiful process, one of the most amazing processes that you can do. So please do subscribe. We're slowly migrating to different platforms. You might have noticed we're gonna expand onto different platforms. Rumble for video right now is what we're using, and starting to upload stuff there as well. It's a slow moving process. We're not going to do anything overnight. We're just feeling the nudge and the hunch to shift to more open, transparent, censorship-free platforms. We love free exchange of thoughts, and we love the expansion of ideas that is unhindered. So we're now on Rumble. We're on MeWe. We will soon be on Parler as Inspired as well. So all the links are available everywhere. And actually, let me put the link. Hold on a second. I'm going to give you the link right away where you can subscribe to us on those other channels. Here we are. Let me put that up here. And now we're going to pin it, if I can get it done. There you go. Now up on top, there's the link tree for the platforms that we're on. Please do subscribe to the newsletter, and please follow us on those platforms and check them out for yourself. Really, really open discussion, and we love that. So before we dive into today's topic, why don't we breathe a little, open our hearts a little. Let's go into some 45 seconds of conscious, intense breathing. We're going to raise the tempo and intensity as we go. As you know, guys, what our intention here is to move from here and move from the gut. In the gut, there's, all those fight or flight reactions that we do. It's either stress or it's either anxiety that's happening in the gut area. And we want to center here in the solar plexus, the spiritual heart, which combines all of our beautiful abilities. So focus on this place here. Breathe in deeply with me. Close your eyes. Follow the rhythm. Let go of the keyboard. Let go of your phones. Just be present. 45 seconds. Let's do this. Awesome. Welcome back. Whew. Tell me how it feels in the comments, guys. How does the shift feel? Ooh, I can't even imagine how many processes we're jump-starting. But you'll notice one thing if you do this often. For example, if there's anything that your body needs to get rid of, sometimes what happens is when we do this breath work for a minute, 2 minutes, you'll start sneezing, right? You'll even start, sweating, and all those things start. It's so easy to help the body do what it needs to do when we give it what it needs. And one of the most fundamental things is oxygen, breath work. Breathe to thrive, not to survive. Like, put that somewhere on your wallpaper of your phones, or put it on a Post-it, stick it somewhere. Breathe to thrive. We have never been taught how to breathe properly, so we need to learn it and then do it more and more often throughout the day. Breathe deeply. So thanks for joining me. Please hit the like button. That helps us a lot. And now let's dive into today's topic. Why winners win and losers lose. When I did this, I did the thumbnail for the video, and Christine said, "Well, that's a polarizing line." And I said, "Well, yeah, because actually it is, and actually the whole concept is really polarizing, but only if you look at it from a detached standpoint." So, for example, if anyone who's never really, heard anything about these concepts comes to our live stream, or they go to Abraham Hicks seminar, or they go to a Bashar seminar, doesn't matter. They will feel like that's a very polarizing message, because the message is, it's you and you alone, right? That's the message. It's always you. It always comes back to you. And that pisses people off. They don't want that. They want to give responsibility to others. They want society to change. They want the world to change. They want their bank accounts to change, but they don't want to change themselves. So what does that have to do with winning? Well, I'll tell you a story. I used to be a professional alpine skier, and that is a huge, huge sport in Central Europe. It's basically, if you live in Austria, or if you live in Switzerland, or if you live in one of those countries, it's as big as football here. Everyone does it. It's a huge thing. And I retired a long time ago, and it wasn't my path to go all the way. I know that now. I didn't know that back then, but I know that now. But as an observer, I still love watching the sport. And up until, I think, the year 2009, 2010, for a few years in that sport, you had very prominent figures, but you didn't have the one magical superstar. And I remember in the interviews after the races, the winners and the guys that came in second, or the guys that really didn't do well, they came to the interview, and then they would explain, because, the journalists want to know everything. So they would say, well, it's an outdoor sport, so you have everything from sunshine to ice to snow to rain to wind. So that plays a part in the whole thing, right? And so a lot of times you would hear the athletes say, well, the conditions changed over the course of the race. I was in the back, and my conditions weren't very good for me, so I didn't do so well. The snow got really soft, or all of those things. And that all is completely legitimate. But then around the year 2009, 2010, a young guy entered the scene, and he pretty much right away started winning. And wouldn't stop winning for 10 straight years. He was the overall champion for 10 straight years. I might be wrong, and it might have been 11 years. I'm not sure. But he did that year after year after year, and he was just winning. And one thing that I noticed is, it didn't really matter what the conditions were, whether it was sunny, whether it was windy, icy, soft, rainy. That guy won it all everywhere. Conditions didn't matter. So all of a sudden, you had someone who wasn't subject to those conditions like the other guys were, right? So I wonder, what is it that made it different for him? And so I listened, I observed, I watched, and I realized that for him, winning was there was no other thing. He embodied winning completely with every cell of his being. He embodied the the idea of winning. And the interesting thing is he wasn't really competing with the rest of the pack. He was so far ahead that his only competitor was himself. And so even when he came in first, and it was by a slim margin, he would still seem not totally satisfied because he wasn't at the top of his game. He was at the top of everyone else's game, but not at the top of his game. And that's where the truth of all of this comes in. And this is a bigger spiritual concept. This guy embodied winning. He embodied being at the top of his own game and being at the best and fulfilling his complete potential every time he showed up, pretty much every time he showed up. And you could feel it, you could see it, you could hear it. Now, he would downplay it. He wouldn't really say it like that because it sounds arrogant when you talk like that. But you could tell this guy lives for being at the top of his game, for living his true potential. That's all that he does. He lives and breathes it every day. He embodies it. And if you are only 1% off of that embodiment, it isn't the same thing anymore. Most people in their lives never make the conscious choice to embody the state that they actually want to live in. Now, if you want to live a life at the highest potential and unfold that highest potential, you need to embody that state. Nothing is more important than doing that. Now, the work that comes in for this athlete, he worked really hard. Off season, he trained a lot, everything that you would think that he could do. But that's not the only requirement. And some people that came before him weren't the hardest workers, but they still embodied living their fullest potential and still kept winning. So the hard work part that people always, say that's the most important thing. We don't believe that is the most important thing. Working and taking inspired action and working and doing inspired work is important. It's not the most important thing. It's the embodiment of the state that you want to live in that is the most important thing. Now, take that to any other area of your life. What about abundance? Now, abundance is everything, but what about financial abundance? Why are some people living financially abundant pretty much all the time, and it keeps growing, it keeps getting better, it keeps expanding all the time, and some people are not? It's embodiment. And watch those people. Abundance is so ingrained into their whole being and every cell. It's the information that flows through them at any given time. You could wake them up at 3 a.m. You can ask them at 3 p.m. It's always the same. They embody abundance throughout their whole lives. They can't even think in a different way. They can't express themselves in any other way. What about being on purpose? What about having igniting that divine spark within you and expanding that and being a true saint on earth? And it doesn't, you don't have to carry that label and put it on your forehead. But I love when Wayne Dyer said, I'm not really a follower of Christ. I strive to live a Christ-like life. Isn't that a more beautiful thing to do, to strive to live like Jesus Christ and to embody these qualities and to embody the wonderful, traits and amazing abilities that he had? So when you think about living as a saint on earth, again, you need to embody it. You need to go into this deep connection with the Creator, with God, with all that is, and fill yourself up with that divinity expanded within you. Allow for this to completely take you over. Embody the state. It does not matter what your dream is. It does not matter what your purpose is. It does not matter what it is that you desire. If it's authentic, and that's the only requirement, authentic means that not your ego dreamed it up and you sat there and you watched other people and you envy them and then you decide, I'm going to be just like them. That's ego talk. But if you receive an authentic desire that comes into your heart, that you wake up with, that you think about, that you dream about, that you're interested in, you get excited about, that's authenticity. When you have that, the next step for you is to embody that fully. How do you do that? You need to become without the shadow of a doubt, that which you desire to be before it happens. You've heard this a million times over, but I encourage you. You don't have to watch someone who's really embodying what you desire in that particular field. You can just watch people that are living to their, living up to their fullest potential, whether that's an athlete, whether that's an artist, whether that's someone who's helping a lot of people, or a coach. Maybe it's someone on TV, whatever it is. Look for those people that you feel they're living their purpose, their passion, their dream with 100% authenticity, and they breathe it, they live it. There's nothing that could ever push them away from that. And then notice how it feels when you tune in. Remember when we played the center of the circle game? When you tune into someone's energy, tune into their energy and see what it feels like when someone lives without doubt. When you are, not you want to be. It's a difference. That's why the world is full of wannabes, and a few people are. They are beers. They are fully in the state that they desire to be, and there's nothing that could sway them. And if you listen to authors that are writing poetry, or writing books, writing novels, whatever they are, for those that it's a real dream, they are authors before they ever publish something. They live that, they say that, they breathe that, they are that. This has to become true for you in whatever it is that you desire to do. You have to become it. You have to feel it so strongly that the hair on your arms stands up when you just think about it. When you see the vision of yourself living that dream fully, it has to be something that your body reacts to. Your heart beats faster, your blood flows faster. You are alert, you are high energy, you have passion. When you get to that state where just thinking from your desire creates all of these reactions, you're in that state, you're embodying it. And that's what you start with for a couple of minutes a day, and you go to half an hour, you go to an hour, you go to 2 hours, you go to 3 hours, you go to 4 hours, you go all the way until you are that 24 hours a day, because nothing less in this life will do. Not because you need to prove it to anyone else, not because you need to show the world who you are, but because you can only fully become what you desire to be when you decide that you have no doubt, no fear, no second guessing. It has to be your nature, not your second nature, your nature. EUCY says that so clearly. They say, we don't want for this to be your second nature. We encourage you to make this your nature. And Kristin and I have over the years shifted into these new different states where you create a new awareness for something, a new dream comes in, or it merges with another dream, or it expands a dream that's already been there, it just becomes bigger. And then you start thinking from that new experience. And at the beginning, it feels different. It's almost uncomfortable because you're not used to thinking like that. It doesn't matter. You keep doing it. You keep doing it because you know something's pulling you there. So keep moving into that state. And after a while, when you think from that state longer, it becomes comfortable. And once it becomes comfortable, it expands. More thoughts keep coming. And then suddenly you will find yourself believing fully this new state and accepting it as your reality. That is the path. And when someone calls you at 2 a.m. in the morning and asks you, who are you? What are you? What's your desire? And you tell them with the greatest conviction that someone could say something, because you feel it in every cell of your body. I am a world-known author, or I help millions of people to fulfill their potential. I love working with animals. Whatever your dream is, dreams are unlimited. That is it, the embodiment of a state. And you know the feeling. You have lived this in some areas of your life. Some of you have lived it in more areas. Some of you are beginning to see what that concept means. And that is why winners win and losers lose. It is not conditions. It is not circumstances. It is not finances. It is not where you were born. It is not where you grow up. All of these things, they are factors. But factors can be overcome. For every million people who blame factors and circumstances for their inability to do something, there's at least 100 people that are doing it anyway. There's at least 100 people that are living it anyway. There's at least 100 people that are expanding every day anyway. So if just one person can do it despite their circumstances, then you can do it too. Then you can do it too. Because circumstances can be overcome. Factors can be overcome. All of this can be overcome. Your mind, when it is in the right place, when it is connected, when you are in heart energy, when you are connected with the Creator, it has unlimited potential. And this is where it starts. You embody that state. You become it fully. If someone calls you arrogant, so be it. If someone says you are crazy, so be it. People will say that. If people turn away from you because you're simply too big for them, that's okay. If people think that you're out of your mind, that is fine. You cannot pay attention to that. You cannot allow an energy that is lower than yours to control you. You cannot allow for a frequency that is lower than yours to pull you down. It does not matter what the world thinks. It only matters what you know here. That's why winners win. That's why winners win, and they will keep winning no matter the circumstances. Because winners win when the weather's bad or when the weather's good, right? Because it is here. And even if for some reason they lose it for a while, or they misplace it for a while, or something happens that, takes them off their path for a little bit, they can come back to it. They find it again. They remember it again because it is part of their whole being. And we encourage you to embody your potential. How does that work? How do you do that? First off, once you start becoming clearer about what that is that you desire, what your true potential is, and it helps when you write things down, because once you write things down and see them on paper, you see this really feels authentic, this doesn't. I always thought I wanted this, but I really don't. All of these things matter. And then you start becoming clearer about it is that you really, really, really desire, what really excites you. And that's the only thing that matters, because there's only a handful of things that will get you out of bed every morning where you jump out and you can't wait. You can't wait to keep doing it, to keep expanding it, to keep exploring it, to keep becoming bigger and better at it. Those few things, there's just a few things. The other things, you have to make yourself do them. You have to effort into them. Those are not the things that we're talking about here. We're talking about the stuff that makes your hair stand up, the stuff that makes you so excited that you don't want to go to bed, and you hope that the night will be, over very soon so you can get up again and do it again. That's the kind of excitement that we're talking about here. Once you become clear, and once you write that down, a vision will emerge from that. You will receive images. Don't create images. Don't effort into images. Authentic desires create authentic visions. That's what happens when you connect. And then begin embodying it in terms of I am. I am. Not I will be. Not hopefully this might happen. Not maybe someday this will come true. I am. I am. I am. You don't need evidence for that. What could be greater evidence than a passion that is so grand that it keeps being in your heart, that it keeps coming up for you, that it keeps coming to you, that God keeps sending you visions for? Nothing could be bigger than that. No evidence on the outside, because everything that's on the outside, it's timely. It comes and it goes. That's the nature of the Maya, of the physical world, is an illusion. It comes and goes. But what's here? That remains, that's true, that's real, that's authentic. And then you will receive nudges, hunches, ideas, and then you must act and must take the inspired action. That inspired action can be something small, or it can be something very big. But whatever it is, you must do it. You must make the call, write the email, get out, meet the person, make the video, write the poem or the book, whatever it is, go to the interview. It doesn't matter what it is, but when you're inspired to do it, when you get a nudge, you have to do it. That's part of the embodiment. And you have to know something. The world cannot see what you want to be, but the world can see what you are. Other people that are part of your journey cannot see what you plan to do or what you think might happen, but they can see who you are and they can see what you are. If you are that, they can see it. If you are what you desire to be, they can feel it, they can see it. That's what the world responds to. What's other people, what they respond to. That's how this vibrational frequency works. This is it. This is the embodiment of your desire. This is living it before you live it on the outside. This is how everything works. And how do we know that? Because a baby embodies growth and it grows. A baby embodies expansion and it expands. It sure expands and it becomes bigger. It creates more abilities every single day because it embodies that. A baby never embodies standing still or embodies looking back. It is always expansion, always expansion. It's natural. It's within them. It's within you. But it's up to you to activate it. It's up to you to live it. It's up to you to make that decision. No one can do that for you. No one can make that decision for you. We could be 24/7, be there with you, give you all the processes, give you all the meditations, give you everything all the time. It still wouldn't change the fact that you have to make a decision or nothing happens. Nothing substantial happens if you don't make a decision. Make a decision. You know, stop being scared or small. Stop being a loser. Stop being a loser. Not what the world thinks of you, but in terms of, am I embodying what I want? Because that's the only losing there is. It doesn't matter what the world thinks. It only matters if you live your potential. Because if you don't, if you keep putting it off, if you keep pushing it away, if you keep letting fear get the better of you, you lose. It's just that simple, and you feel it. You can't fight that. You can't rationalize that. You can't intellectualize that. It just feels that way. But when you become it, you're a winner. That instant. Not when the results come in. Not when the first price arrives. Not when the check arrives. Not when you make 1 million sales or whatever it is. You're a winner in that instant because you embody it. That's it. And you're a winner for you, not the world, not others, not for the competition. A winner for you. And winning just means to be aligned with who you really are. That's our worldly speak for this spiritual concept. We say winning, but really it means being who you really are, right? That's it. That's the choice, people. It's a decision you can make today. What we do, we come here. Sometimes we give, a little bit of a kick-ass speech, kick you in the butt a little bit. Sometimes we really, really go deep in the heart. Sometimes we talk about something that's going on in the world. But all of that is meant to inspire. That's what we do. That's what we are here for. Every single day. We love to inspire. It's our passion. Whether we do it here, whether we do it in one-on-ones, whether we do it when we meet people out there. It's not that we try to. It's just what we love to do. It's what's in our heart. It's what's our purpose. It's our purpose to do that. That's why it comes so easy. So if there's anything that we can do for you, we're here. You know this. We have created a few wonderful avenues to help create that journey, to help expand that journey, whether that's in a course, whether that's in inspired membership calls. But here's the thing. If it's not us, there's someone else. If you're not inspired to do this here, there's something else. But there is something or someone. There's something that helps you in that journey. And it doesn't have to be another person, but sometimes it is. It's a matter of making the decision. That's what we encourage you to do, Inspired Tribe. That's what we encourage you to do. Become a winner today.
Amen.
Let me see, guys. I'm going to go through the comments real quick. Let me see. It's good to see you all. Illy says, my energy is up already. I like that. Thank you, Emma. I really appreciate it. I have been doing this several times a day. Very, very good. Very, very good. Rose says, I'm responsible for my own life. That's amazing. Wow. That Inspired Tribe sums it all up. Yes, you are. We all are. No one else. We are. Elenia says, embodiment may require much discipline, but it's beyond rewarding in the end. And something really, really important that Elenia just said, and that's the difference between effort and discipline. When you effort, you make yourself show up for something that you don't really enjoy, and even if you get it done, the end result doesn't really inspire you. It's just something that you get done. That's efforting. When you have discipline, you show up, and discipline is the part where you're lazy, or the part where you I want to where you bridge that gap and show up for it and do it, because you know that when you show up, you feel inspired, and when you do it, there's a big reward. That's what Elenia said here. That's discipline, completely different from efforting. Lee says, I asked the psychic once, why am I obsessed with writing? She said, it's your path. Then she was surprised I wasn't published. She was like, you're not published? Well, time is an illusion. Leave that last part out. What was the sign here? A published author. Boom. That's what I take. I'm buying that. I'm a published author. What does that mean? People can read my stuff. It means it gets out there. It means the potential to reach millions and millions of people is there. Illy, I am a published author. That's all that you take from this, because that's the powerful winning statement. The rest, you intellectualize. You try to make time as an illusion. That means, well, it will happen someday, but it's happening now. The time is an illusion part, it's softening the energy. I'm a published author. That's where the energy is. That's where the winning part is. Rose says, I open myself up to the universe for inspiration and discipline. Inspired Tribe, thank you for being with us today. Check out that link on top of the live chat that's pinned up there for following us on all the socials. Please sign up for the newsletter. That's where you get the Inspired Freedom Launcher, and then do it. And that's the last thing I'm going to say for this live stream is, and we received this beautiful guidance yesterday. So a lot of people seek advice somewhere. Some go to others that they feel, are well on their path and can give it. Some go to God. Some go to their spirit guides. And a lot of people ask for advice somewhere. And I hope you ask for advice somewhere where you feel that you will receive trusted, beautiful guidance. Not, here's your path, this is what you need to do. Guidance is just pointing towards something. But what someone said to us yesterday is, it's not that people don't seek advice. It's that when they get it, they don't take it. They don't do it. They listen to it. It feels good in the second. It helps them to soothe their worries, but then they don't do it. Then they move on and they keep looking for advice. And they hear it and it feels good and it soothes them for a second, and then they don't do it. And that's it. That's why so many people feel like they're losing and only very few feel like they're winning. And that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Inspired Tribe, thank you for joining us. We love you. We appreciate you. It's good that you're here with us. We'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central Standard, right here on the Inspired channel. If you feel inspired to join us for today's iMembership call, it's happening tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard, like every Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday. It's an empowered group. We love it. We love the expansion. It's a membership that's $69 a month. and you're in. So send us an email to 365inspiredliving@gmail.com. Make a choice. Show up. We look forward to seeing you. We love you all. See you soon.